Hi everyone, welcome. It's Ryan here from the London Craftsman channel. How are you doing? Today's video is about how to fit this particular TV media unit. Lots of detail in this one, from push catches to side panels to back panels to lighting. Lots of details that you're going to want to know in order to fit your own TV unit. So if that floats your boat, you want to find out more, well, better stay tuned, watch to the end, and I hope you enjoy. Alright, so it's 7:20. We're working in Bushy today. We're working in a flat on the first floor. We've got to carry all the materials through the communal stairway into the flats. Just waiting on Sean at the moment. He should be here any minute. The van's full up, ready to unload. This is the TV media unit, and it's made up of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carcasses. This is open on this side. It's wall on the other side. It's floor to ceiling, obviously. So we need to fit panels here. The rest are trims. We obviously need to put the back panel in to take the TV, the surround, close off the space, bit of battening to do there, and a shelf with a light. And also we've got 10 doors to hang and fit. Also got a tripod here to get a time lapse of it all. We are up there today, first floor. So yeah, we're getting through there in a minute. Wait until Sean gets here and we'll get cracking. Yeah, so this is what we got today. It looks a little bit of a mess, but it's organised mess, all right? So we needed to put a back panel in there, and that's just slipped in over the nice, neat pile at the back. We've got a couple of drawers here, which was the only space that we had left. And there we go. Oh, Sean's waving at us. How's my favourite worker? Good. He's good. That's good. So we're in, and this is the space where it's going. We've got limited space. I have to work around that, not moving the sofa. Okay, so we're ready to rock and roll now. It is 8:30 on the dot. We've got all our pieces dotted around. We've got our sheets down, screw box out, all our bits and bobs, boxes, drills, everything that we need. Used all the room in this flat today. Handy it's empty, no one's in. So yeah, I'm going to get on with the bearers. I need to mark out where these bearers go, so cut back the carpet. Sean's going to be assembling these carcasses. We've got 5 in total. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is created by, once all these units are in, we're going to batten all the way around the inside of the tunnel, and then we're going to put this panel in. Once the panel's in, then we'll put these side panels in, and then we will then put this shelf in with pockets and screws through the sides, and happy days. So that is the order that we're going to do things in. But first I need to mark out the footprint of this unit, get some masking tape, cut it out, start leveling out these bearers. So this is the time, it's 8:55. We've got a working clock there, that's handy. So Sean is on the carcasses now. I've cut back my carpet. Okay, so I just went an extra 30mm. So total carcasses was 2499. Plus 30mm from the wall, 2529. That's the length. And we've got a depth of carcass of 500, plus the backing 506. I want to come in 30mm to the start of my bearers, so our screw is around the 50mm mark to the centre of the bearers. So we've got about 575-ish cut by 2529. So I'm going to just get my levels on there, check my levels. If you want to see how to level, there is a video up there, so it's not going to be a comprehensive video on leveling. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and mark out where all my uprights are going. We have got divisions in these, so I am going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of packers, okay, all the way across to spread that load over the whole unit, so we don't get any sagging in the doubles. Also, we have got weight coming down from these tower units down to this part, so it is quite handy. We have got divisions there too to spread that load and distribute it evenly. So yeah, let's go ahead and get those bearers set up to, we've got 50mm off the floor. So I measured from the carpet when I was here, it's 50mm from the floor. We've got about 20mm carpet and underlay. There's going to be 70mm from the sub floor. That's what I'm going to do. Mark out my packers with the masking tape. Okay, so there we go. We've got the base down, and what I like to do is just put a set of 18s down first, and I use 30s, so I don't risk it and go any deeper than 30s, just in case there was a pipe or a cable underneath. Subfloor is always around 18mm. I could go to 40s, but it's a bit risky. It might poke through, and I didn't want to take that risk, or I never really do want to take that risk. So 30s, and then we layer up. We can then start using 50s from this point on. I'm talking about screws, obviously. So that's what I'm going to do. We are now level with the carpet. I need to come up 50 mil. So what I'm going to do is come up 2 more layers of 18. That'll give me 36, and I've got a bearer. That's them there. They are about 18. So I'm just going to kind of cheat in a way and just do 2 of these and a bearer, and that'll give us around 54 mil. I'm not too fussed about that 4 mil. It's not going to make any difference at all. Yeah, so I'm going to screw another 2 sets of 18s on the top, and then from that point on I can use shims, 1 mils and 3 mils to sort of like get my true levels. So I've taken my levels. As you can see, the bubbles to the right, which means it's high on the right, and the same here. I've taken that level, and front to back it's high at the back. And that's typical because obviously the joists are running into the wall. It's not going to have any deflection there, but where there's weight over time, the floorboards, or shall I say the joists, shall I say, will sag down. So I will start from that corner, get a 3 mil over here, to be honest, under that one, see what I've got. Still too low. I'm just going to work it like that from right to left and from back to front, and yeah, then we'll be ready to screw these bearers down. At the same time, Sean is on the first carcass. He's done quite well. He's polishing them as he goes. To clean our carcasses, we're using multi-surface cleaner and a polishing cloth, and that's all we need to clean up, and just take any overspray that there might be on the components. Yeah, so it's just going to be cleaning them up, assembling them, putting them on the bearers. So within about 10 minutes I should have these ready. Sean, what is this one, the corner one? Okay, it's this one. That's cool. So that gives Sean the time to do that one, and then we'll need to cut out all this stuff afterwards with the jigsaw. Sean's nearly finished the second one. I've finished the bearers now. Nice and level. A little bit higher than I wanted, about 60 mil, but you know, it's not going to make any difference, to be honest, in the overall look. Level wise, it's pretty decent front to back. We always go to the front line. Just I'd rather the wardrobe leaning back towards the wall than the front, or even level, shall I say, because over time joists are going to want to deflect a little bit more downwards. So if you get them level, they're going to go out of level. So I start with them leaning back towards the wall, if that makes sense. And then over time, if they ever do move, at least it will level themselves up. So it's only a little bit. It's tiny amount, but that's the way I like to do it. So we're going to get this one in now. That one can go right here. So 20 to 10, and I'm making a tea. I've got Sean cup that suits his eyes, this one. Helen, hope you don't mind. You said eat anything that you want. So we did see a Costco cake. I wasn't going to tell you, but it just slipped out just now. If you come back and it's all gone, it's all Sean, not me. Sean loves cake. I hate cake. Let me see your eyes. Perfect match. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to make Sean his tea. So let's do the calculations. We were talking about teas earlier. Sean, how long have you been with the London Craftsman? Yeah, 6 years. 7. How many days roughly do you work? 300 days? Let's just say 300. That's 2,100 days, all right? Let's just average it out, okay, because it's not going to be that. 2,100. How many teas do you reckon I'll make you a day on average? Sometimes I miss a day or two, but sometimes I'm making 2 or 3. So let's just average it out at 2 a day, average. 2,100 times 2. That's 4,200 teas I've made you, mate. All those tea bags I've used on you, mate. And all that sugar and milk. And electricity. I don't know if you guys are interested in tea talk or just want to see the unit being made, but there we go. You can see how to make a cup of tea. Whatever you do, don't put the milk first like I did. I'm going to get slated for that, aren't I? Sean's polishing. All right, so yeah, this unit is going to have those holes cut out. And this is, again, a little reminder of what we are trying to make today. So I'm planning to cut this out now, okay? So I'm just taking my measurement from the top of the bearers to the underside of the sockets. To be honest, I'm coming down another 30 mil because when you've got the hard bit on the socket, on the plug, you need the extra space. So we always do 30 mil extra at the bottom, and I might as well just continue that around here as well. So it's going to be 30 here. But I'm not going to just do a notch and up. I'm just going to just carry it across. Yeah, so I'm going to mark those off, just taking all my measurements, going to mark them on the side. There's one there. I'll do the back also. Sean's cracking on with the upper unit. 10:30, and Sean has nearly finished that first tower unit. These have been screwed down now. We've cut our holes out and we put in the pegs. for putting in our adjustable shelves. So yeah, that's ready to be done. We've also screwed down into the bearers now. You could just see 2 there, 4 here, 4 here, 2 here. So I'm putting these little packers in here, and I've done 4 on this side. Well, I will have done, and 4 on this side. This is where the tower unit's going to go. So you want to stay tuned right to the end to find out why I'm actually doing this. But we're using Mitre Fast. I'll leave links in the description for this glue. We put the spray on the back, and then we put a bit of the glue part on the packer. We just used 6 mils. Okay, and we just had them protruding about 30 or 40 mil. It's not critical. We've got our ledge going in here soon. You'll find out in a while why we do this. Okay, but it's a very handy little system to get these upper units put in place. So we've got the ledge in. It's got the little support underneath because it's got a joint in it. Yeah, we're about to fit it now. So it's the right depth. We don't need to cut it down in depth. That's the way we've planned it. And all we need to do is scribe the length. What we have here is we've got a side panel going on here, okay, of 18 mil. If you have a look, we've got a side panel there going on. And if you go, well, the striped line, and if you go up a little bit, you see the ledge, and that is 10 mil overhang. So we've got 18 mil plus a 10 mil overhang. So we need to cut the ledge. Well, make sure this ledge is 28 mil overhanging this side. So we're going to take our measurement from the carcass to the wall plus 28, and that is the length of our ledge. If we have a look at the side profile, you're not going to see the end of that ledge behind this unit. So we only really need to scribe the viewable ledge, which is, if we have a look at our side profile, we've got 290 inside there, and we've got 500. So there's about 200 mil difference. There's going to be about 200 and something mil. What we might do is come in about 250 and make sure that's nice and tight. The rest we don't really need to worry about because that will be unseen. But it might just be a square cut. So let's see how that goes, and then we'll get that screwed in from underneath. We've got it on the unit that Sean's just made. We just thought we use it as a bench rather than getting the benches up. Only need to do this one cut for the moment. So we're going to get the plungy out, got the hoover already, just give that a quick cut and then we can screw it up. Okay, so we got the 800 track set up just because the bigger one won't fit. It'll just be a bit of a nightmare. We're a bit tight for space at the moment, so we're going to cut that to length. That was a nice square wall, so we're just going for 2561. That's the overall length, and that will give us 28 mil overhang, which means when we put our side panels on, we'll still have a 10 mil lip. Well done, Tom. Nice cut. So that went in nicely. We did a nice cut. It's up against the wall over there, and we've got a 28 mil overhang. So before we crack on, I want to show you now, if I get a couple of 6 mils, and then we get the 6 mils, and what we need to do is we need to put a 6 mil in between, just for now, not all of them, just a few of them. 3 would probably do. And that will give us our spacing, so I can then push this in up to these packers, all right? So that means when it comes to fitting these upper units, and just push this up against the wall, push it up against the packer, that is replicating the backing that is going to slip in there. Okay, so if I take that one out, so now just imagine these upper units going in. As you can see here, Sean's got one ready. Have a look at the backing, the way it sails past the bottom. Let's turn it around. So this is the front, and this is the bottom where it's going to hit the ledge. You see it sailing past, and what that allows us to do is slip it in. Once this is screwed down, it gives us an exactly 6 mil gap in between the packers and the ledge, and what that does is it keeps, imagine this is our backing, all right, the backing of the unit is going to slip in, gives it a nice tight joint in between the backing and the ledge. Without these, you know, backings are all floppy, they belly and everything. There's no way of getting them fixed. This is the perfect solution. So yeah, that is in place. Now that's exactly where this ledge needs to be. It's pushed up against the wall over there. It's pushed against a selection of packers in between the other packers, our little tongues, and now we can just screw this in from underneath. That's what we're going to do. Ledge and shelves in now. And that is the detail underneath. You can still see the sockets. When it comes to powering the TV up, it may be that we just feed the cables either through the cabinet and up, or around the back of the cabinet and through the panel. We'll see at the end what's easiest. We've got this carcass made now. So basically to screw these units down on one of them, we are using pockets, okay? Pockets and pockets to screw down. Then you'll have pockets, and then there will be a little L bracket on here which will fix to the unit first and then screw down afterwards. When we get this in place, we need to make sure that we leave the right space in between for this TV panel. So yeah, let's get this in, Sean. Alright, so this is the unit in. I wanted to show you the side, the way it works. Okay, so if we try and zoom in, you can just about see that packer at the back that was glued onto the lower carcass. That is holding this backing in place, and you can see this backing is running all the way down. And then we've got the pockets screwing down. And it's the same here. If we go around here, you probably see it a little bit better. Packer holding that backing in, like so. And the pockets screwing down. So by the time that unit's in and we've got everything all together, then to reinforce it all, we will then be getting fixings into the corners to hold it together as one whole unit. It's relatively stiff as it is. We're just going to do it that side now too, and then we can get this upper unit in. Sean's nearly finished this one. Let's do the backing. Cat's out. Say hello. Say hello to the camera. Anyway, that's strawberry, by the way. Yeah, so this is what we got so far. We've got the two units in at the top, pocket it down there, and there, and there. On this side, like I said earlier, we've got a tiny little L bracket. Can't really get the camera in there. So that will get screwed down in a moment. But you can see there's no gaps between the ledge and the backing because those packers are pushing the backing in. So yeah, we've put some spacers at the top now because we need to get this bridging unit in between. Once that's in, we can take the blocks away and then we will just start paneling out. These panels are already cut to size, which means there's less cutting. They're definite sizes. So yeah, Sean is literally working on the last unit right now, which is that bulkhead unit, the one that goes across. We'll see what it actually looks like with all the 5 units in. Right, so time is getting away from us today, taking a bit of time getting this panel in with the lights. It's about 20 to 2 now. Sean's just marking out a few panels while I just finish this off. As you can see here, we've created a 21mm lip, and that is so the door will be flush when we hang this door. As you can see here, I've left a 23mm void between the backing and this upper panel because this light is going in there. So if I just poke my head up, I poke the camera up, you can see blobs of silicone. This panel has got a slight belly in this way, so when I push this light in, it's going to hold that light in for me nicely while the silicone does its thing. Behind this panel is a batten that went all the way around. It's been really busy, wasn't able to film that, but it's just a bit of softwood timber. The thing that is holding this panel in now are these side panels, the up and over panel. You can see here we've got a fixing in on one, just hold this one in just for now. That is crushing the other one in because it had a bit of a belly in it and it took some of that out, so we need to put a screw in at the bottom there. But just wanted to show you how we got that groove. We can just pull that cable through. There we go, we've got the lights in there. So as I'm about to squash this in, I need to get this in now before this panel goes in. Be easier anyway. We're going to pull that cable taut as we do so. So that's what we're going to do now. And then once we've done that, we can then finish putting that side panel in and then pump all the screws in all the way around on all 3 up and over panels. Sean's cutting trims at the moment. He's cutting the bottom, skirting the plinth, which is going to be flush. I've just taken all the hinges out of the packets and wound them back, taken the plates off, split the runners apart. Also put the straw sheets in position. So basically this is where our runner is going to be. The fat part of the runner is going to be flush with the bottom. When our door goes in, we've got a 25mm finger pull basically. We've stepped that back 80mm. It was just too small. Usually we do a little notch if we're doing a cheek, but because this is a small one-off drawer, we just step the whole thing back rather than cutting a notch. So it's 25mm, and yeah, 25mm and 80mm step back. I'm going to get those runners screwed on throughout and yeah, slide those drawers in. In the meantime, Sean's just getting on with trims. We've got lots to do. Don't think we're going to make our 6 o'clock deadline. It feels a little bit tight, plus I'm always recording. So yeah, anyway, doing well, gonna crack on. There we go, the cheeks are on, step back 18 mils, you can see runners are in, and if we line them up, they are stepped back from the carcass 10 mil, because the draw is in line with the front of that runner, so our draw will be stepped back 10 mil from the carcass also. And there we go, that's another example there, so that's in line with the other side. So a cheek on the side where there's going to be a door hung, so the door's hung off that edge, or side shall I say, and same over there. And this is the draw side, so because it's 44 mil the runner, we've centralized this to this, so the bigger part is flush with the bottom. So I've simply screwed that on. I'm going to get that in now. Plinth is also in, as you can see. Plinth went in really nice, well done Sean, done a great job. He's just marking out these two side trims now, side panels shall I say. So Sean's just going to jump on those two and try and get through all of these trims. We've basically got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left, and the shelf. Oh yeah, we've got to fit this shelf across too. So a quick example again of how I hang these doors. Very simple, 6 mil packer in between, top and bottom, 3 mil packer at the top, flip over the hinge, put the screws in. Do this one-handed, but sometimes it's easier just to call Sean over to put one screw in. Once one screw is in, then I can finish it off. So happy days. You can see the way the drawers work now. They're in. Yeah, perfect. That will leave enough space there. Can you see the cheek system? The hinge will go in there. Happy days. Got a 25 mil finger pull. So that's done. All the shelves are in at the bottom. All the shelves are in all the way around. So far it's 2:30. This is what we've got so far. Not too bad. Whenever you've got lots of carcasses, that's where the time goes. It's assembling all the carcasses. We've got lots of panels here. Say, for example, a wardrobe of this size, you may only be fitting like 4 panels, 4 trims. Whereas this, you've got lots more and lots more doors going on and lots more carcasses. So more time and effort goes into it, hence only being at this stage right now. But so far, so good. What I'm going to quickly do now is just get one door at a time, put the hinges on it, click the plates on, cover plates, hang the door, adjust it, move on to the next one. Time report, we're at 10 to 4. Yeah, as predicted about an hour ago, we're not going to make it by any stretch of the imagination. Firstly, we forgot to bring the inset hinges for these 2 doors. They're all full overlay, apart from these 2. As you can see, the side is basically, there's a 3 mil gap there. So yeah, we need inset hinges for these 2 doors, so we can't continue. I don't really want to put that door on until I know where they go. Side panels are on, and we're not going to fit the top trim until the upper doors are in, so we know our gaps. But yeah, it's going to be another half a day really, a relaxed half a day. So yeah, we are thinking, well, it is nearly 4 o'clock. We're going to pack up in about 45 minutes, I think. Clean up the flat, put our tools in the corner because Helen's a friend. She'll allow us to put our tools there, and we'll come back in a couple of days. We kind of bit off more than we could chew in a day. I think that was my fault. I always try and be optimistic how much we can get done. To be honest, this is probably the only one. When was the last time we've had to come back? I can't even remember the last time I've said that we're going to do it, and we haven't. Not for a while. No, not for a while. Not for a while. Okay, so it's been a relatively long day. It's 10 to 5. We decided to pack up and get all the tools together and in a pile, leave them here for coming back another day. It's Tuesday. Coming back most likely on Thursday. I'm guessing it's another half day, non-rushed. But overall, it went really well. Had no issues whatsoever. We just missed the inset hinges, so we can do those doors and carry that on. And that is about it, apart from running out of time. Yeah, we'll see you on Thursday. So day 2, and this is what we've got so far. We haven't got much to do. It doesn't look like much, but it is actually a fair amount. Let me spin the camera around and show you what we got. So this is the stage that we got up to. We need to do the top trim and the 2 side trims there on the side and 3 doors at the bottom. We didn't have the inset doors to carry these on, so we bought those today. Didn't want to get that last door on. That's a full overlay hinge. We didn't want to do that trim until we got these doors in, work our way from left to right to know the size of that trim. Also a change today is we're not doing handles, we're doing push catches, and we've got these push catches that should spring the door open enough to get fingers in. Sean's going to concentrate on trims, I think. I'm going to concentrate on doors and holes and see where we go. So I'm starting on the push catches now to start with. Sean's just taken the length of that top trim. He's going to cut that to length. But we've got these push catches now, so this is what they're going to do. They're just enough to get your fingers in. Okay, Basically, you've got that part here, the pointy bit here, that's at the back. This is the front. You just want to make that edge flush with the front. So imagine this is where your push catch is going to go. It's going to be flush like so. Okay, we're going to get that screwed on. Got a whole bag of little screws here, 16s I believe, with small heads, and just 2 screws. Job's a good one. We're just coming in 50mm, okay, to the start, and that works. So this is what happens. Okay, 1 tap, and then just enough to get your fingers in. Sometimes when you've got bigger doors, they don't work as well. This one is a little bit heavier. We've also got overhead doors. Don't know how they're going to work, but the customer changed her mind, and she doesn't want handles. She likes the flush look. So we're going to see how these go before we drill out any handles. Most likely they're going to be the push catches. This is what the push catch plate looks like. The little the little tabby bits at the back, flush here. This is obviously where the door's hitting up against. Yeah, what we want to do is line up the front first, and then clip the back in, and that should be it. And then you can just push these in and out. Once they're out, you can adjust them out to extend them. Do that together. But it is sticking out a little bit, so we can just wind that back a little bit. Perfect. So those 2 are done. Got my hole drilled. Just used a 63mm hole, I think I had. I just had one set up, needs sanding. Pulling the cables through now to where they need to be. The only thing I need to do is cut off the plug off the customer's TV, feed it through, because it won't go through both sides. It doesn't detach from the TV. And he's cut it off, feed it through, plug it back in. Well, new plug back on because it's a sealed plug. But that's right at the end. So I'm just going to finish off, get these push catches done. That means my cables are done, my push catches are done, and then I could just work on these 3 doors. At that point, Sean will be ready with that trim to go in. He's already cut it to length. He's just going in increments now. He's just done a couple of cuts for the plungy. Generally don't use a jigsaw. Don't know who does, but we just find it's messy. And you have to do it upside down. I don't really believe that's a great way. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit dangerous upside down. Not my cup of tea. So yeah, it's just plunge saw, and wherever it doesn't connect, then we just, like this one there, you can see, just finish it off with a handsaw. But most times it's fine. It doesn't take long. It's maybe 10 minutes just to get that trim marked and cut. Sean's cut the trim. We've fried it in, put it in at the top. We're just going to use some little spacers, most likely 3mm above all the upper doors. So when we squeeze this in, we know we've got the correct gap and to guide us, but it fits nicely. I've got mitre fast. I'm using the spray part. I'm just going to spray the top. As you can see, we've got a piece of MDF there, which we're going to be gluing this trim onto. Same for these side trims also. Yeah, and then we'll use the liquid part to put on the back of the trim. And this is the liquid part there. Okay, so we're going to use that. So there we go. There's the example. It's all glued up. So now Sean can take his length of this trim. Didn't want to take that length until this upper trim was in. We can take those packers away now, but this is how we do it. Okay, so Sean is holding the inset hinge door now. Okay, this is how we just fit them, just quick and easy. This is our method anyway. So yeah, there's generally a packer at the bottom. That's just fallen out. That slips inside like that. Packer at the top. We've got 3mm there, and that just holds the door in the right position. The insets are exactly the same as the full overlays. In relation to the hole distances. Okay, so just hold that door the same, and it should locate the holes in the same position as the full overlays. That little cheek allows for the hinge to sit inside, and now that drawer runner can pass the door very easily once the door is open. Happy days. Thanks, Sean. Sean can crack on now. That one's done now. All I need to do is adjust it to suit the door behind it. We will need to adjust it out. It's probably very close to that edge as it is. So what I'm going to do is adjust it forward. So remember, I always adjust my hinges all the way back as far as they go to the plate. So now we're going to adjust the plates forward. Okay. You can see the distance from the hinge to the plate opening up. Okay, so let's go over that and see what happens. Close it up. Okay, still more to do. It's big at the top, it's big on the right, small on the left, so that means that my hinge wants to go over that way a little bit. You can see here it's bigger at the top, smaller at the bottom. So I'm going to adjust that hinge in at the top a little bit more. Let's do it together once more. Now let's go back with a drill the other way. Went too far. Squeeze them together. Let's see if that's sorted the problem. It's a little bit better, but there is more tweaking to do. The gap at the top is a little bit bigger too big for my liking. It's about 4 mil. But once I've done all the doors, I can then just release all of these one at a time. Just release those 2 screws, holding the plate on, the 220s, and then we can lift the door up, screw them back up, but we'll do 1 door at a time. But that's not critical at the moment. It's all about getting the door right that way and lining them up as you go. And so far, it's not so bad. So yeah, we're just going to do the same technique on that one, then that one. Happy days. Isn't it, Sean? Yeah. 20 to 12. All good. All we need to do is put this trim on the end, the top trim and the bottom trim. The bottom trim has the little cutout for the skirting because we're making this trim flush with the bottom. So that's going to go on with the same technique as the top trim where we glued it on, and but everything else is done. It's all been cleaned down. Sean's been polishing up with some multi-surface cleaner, so when we clean up, we use this on our finishes. Any clear multi-surface cleaner with a yellow polishing cloth. And we got one touch up just behind the door there, and we need to just touch up that. Once we are done there, I'm just going to go around with the silicone. Where was the silicone, Sean? Over there. Got some multi-purpose white silicone to go around there, ready to go. And that is it. So trims, 2 trims to glue on, silicone, and we'll be done, and we'll go through it right at the end and show you the finished product. Okay, so we're on the silicone. I'm just using a standard white silicone. Most people would probably say to me, why aren't you using cork? Firstly, the customer wouldn't really want to decorate over the cork afterwards. It wants to be a finished unit once it's all done. Cork, in my eyes, isn't very flexible, so if there is any movement over time, it's more likely to crack. Silicone's got more flexibility. This is a very, very slight off-white colour, so this is white silicone, so you shouldn't really notice any difference. It should blend in nicely, plus we've got white sealing. If you've got 2 different colours, then I wouldn't advise a white silicone. You can get silicones mixed to your colour, or you can buy off the shelf colours, about 10 different colours. Anyway, this is what I do. For something that's so small, if you come over here, Sean, we've got a tiny gap here. Sean's done a fantastic job. Look how small that gap is, very, very small. It's literally not even a mil. So I'm just going to leave the tip the way it is, not going to touch the tip. There are slightly bigger gaps, so when we get to that, we can then make the cut on the tip to make it a little bit bigger. So I'm just simply going to put a small amount. Okay, I've got my tissue to hand. This is my technique. I'm not a professional, but I do a decent job, I think. So start where you're comfortable. Tiny bead, okay? We're going to use our finger right at the end. Just be smooth, and then we could just finish that off. Every now and then you can click that trigger because it will want to keep on coming out on you. There we go, all on. And then I just simply use my finger, just very gently run it over. It might take a couple of goes, like so. And I'm wiping up my trousers. I don't know why when I've got tissue there. Always do that. It's just a habit. Bit trickier to get into the top, so I might put a little bit more on there, but that is basically it. And again, you just smooth it over. There are tools as well. The tools, in my eyes, don't do as good as job. They look good for the time being, but what they do is they smudge the silicone over your work. And that is it. I'm going to crack on and do the rest. Cheers, Sean. You can crack on and do what you want to do. Okay, so just testing, make sure all the cables plugged in nicely. Checking the Freeview and the Amazon box. All good. So there we have it, guys. All done. Really happy. The customer, I think, is happy too. But yeah, it's been a good one from start to finish. Lots to do. When it came to fitting this one, we were thinking, can we get it done in a day? Can we not? When we first started it in the morning, yesterday, we were thinking, it's quite a tough one. We've got lots of carcasses to go on. We've got 10 doors. We've got the panel, the lights, lots of trims, drawers. And it just got away from us. We didn't manage to do it in the whole day. So we're here at 1 o'clock. It's taken us about 4 and a bit hours on the second day. So let's just say 1.5 hours. I'm really, really chuffed. As you can see, we've got the LED light. The customer just wanted one light at the top on a little dimmable remote, so you could just up and down. You can always pick color as well, but the customer wanted warm whites, which is a good choice, to be honest. The color is a slightly off white. I'll leave a link in the description if you like it. I think it looks really nice and goes well with the kind of like bluey grey walls and the white ceiling and the carpet. So we just got a mixture of doors. The customer changed her mind from knobs to push catches. So if I close everything now for you, it's just a simple push to close everything. Okay, nice and simple. And yeah, it just looks nice and fresh and modern, nice and simple. And yeah, a couple of drawers at the top, slow close hinges. These two doors, remember, they were inset because we designed it to be inset, and the rest of the doors were overlay hinges. And yeah, all done. So overall, about 14 man hours each for Sean and I to both fit this, and about a week and a half in the workshop. Happy days, really, really happy. What do you think, guys? Tell me what you think in the comments. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Have a great Sunday. See you next Sunday. Ciao for now.